in terms of tactics with P.T. Barnum, one of the people that really turned me on to P.T. Barnum was Michael Jackson.
Pretty beat.
Hey.
Was who, Michael Jackson?
It was Michael Jackson.
Really?
Michael Jackson, around the time of, I think it was right before his Dangerous tour in the early 90s.
Yeah.
He reportedly bought the P.T. Barnum book, and well, let me walk you through how I arrived there too, very briefly. So I was watching this interview with Teddy Riley, who's a musician and works with Michael Jackson, and he said they said, would Michael Jackson still be hot today? And he said, without a question. He just knew how to market.
Okay.
He was just better at marketing. He knew how to make something go hot, and you see it today. His movie's coming out, and it's, you know, doing numbers, and the guy's been dead for over 15 years.
Heyo.
Hey. What up? Welcome back to another super secret
Founders Drive. Don't tell nobody.
Don't tell nobody. Yes, so we are back with this new Founders Drive on P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
Hell of a character.
Yes. An absolute awesome showman.
Yeah, well, we went over the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads in the regular Founders Drive episode. In this episode, we're going to be going over, I think we're probably going to be spending a lot of time on just the marketing and the way that in the promotion and what he did. I have something that I want to bring out, which I think is something to know. Is, to me, we talk a lot about values, and we talk a lot about values from the frame of something that's valuable to somebody, something that's important to somebody. The best way to visualize what I mean by that is if you take an ordered list, 1 through 10, and whatever somebody puts as at the 1 spot is the most valuable, and then, you know, the 10 spot or the lowest spot is the least valuable.
Essentially.
So the idea of promotion is promoting something that you're selling or giving, or something that you've identified, and raising it in someone's value list that they already have, and you're promoting it essentially in that list of something that you already have. And the reason why I think that's important to know is that a lot of times when we talk about promotion, it's more around the activities around promotion and not necessarily the goal of what promotion actually is. And so he was very, very good at promoting ideas by making them interesting and making people curious about what he was talking about, and then also pre-promoting and getting people, well, pre-promotion is promotion because you're just doing it earlier before the event. Yeah. But so that was something that I think was that's a good thing to outline before we take the next deep dive in the Barnum.
Now, promotion, there's that fine line between, am I promoting this thing truthfully, or am I promoting it in a provoking way?
Yes, the humbug.
Where it doesn't matter what I say, as long as I say something that grabs your attention. Because then your attention's over here, and that's my promotion. Yeah. You know, there's that fine line.
There's an art to it.
Very much.
It is like walking like a fine line, like a high wire, where you're like, hey, I can jump this way or this way, and I step into unethical territory if I'm not careful.
Yeah, I mean, applying that to like the real world today, I mean, so many founders, when they're pitching investors, you have to sell your version of world domination. If, as an investor, and I hear, oh yeah, I just want like my business to make like $5 million, I'll sell in a couple years, then I'll live a happy ever after. That's not very investable. Like $5 million, like that's pocket change, especially if I'm a VC trying to, you know, invest $100 million this year. Yeah. And you want to make $5 million on it? No, you need to sell me on your world domination.
Well, world domination, but
it can't be too much, right? Because it's like, yeah. So there's that fine line.
I'm gonna just keep imagining Pinky in the Brain. When we do everything, to take over the world. But there is the sale of it and the promotion of it is, how do you promote to investors? How do you promote? And that's something that we've been thinking of. But there's also, how do you promote to your customers?
100%.
How do you promote just in general to somebody else? And part of his whole premise with the Humbug is that he believes that people like to be, it's consensual deception. People want to, we said suspend disbelief. I think that's the cordial way of saying it. But it's, how do you put someone in a trance where they don't pay attention to what's real for a little bit, and they can focus on what you're talking about and be entertained by it.
The best example I think you had for this was the WWE. The Vince McMahon, the amount of storytelling that goes into some of those events, WrestleMania namely, is that exact same type of, hey, like, we all kind of know what's happening here, but hit him with a chair. You know, there's that excitement, there's that suspense of the disbelief there, and so there is a very fine line. You know, like, if you have, for instance, if you had a company that might take a drop of blood and tell you everything about it, you know,
are we ever going to do an episode on her?
Maybe you don't go into those unethical claims of all the things your technology can do if it can't actually do it, because your shots are going to get called, and when that happens, you're in a world of hurt if you can't deliver what you promised. So there's that fine line.
And I think a tool that he really used was extreme curiosity. And I was thinking about this all week, is how do you like use that as a tool? How do you create curiosity? And one thing that he did that was really interesting is he would talk about these curiosities and these oddities in a way where he allowed room for doubt. You know, can't really quite tell what it is. He might run one ad that says,
"This is a medical anomaly."
And then he might run another ad where it's like, it's fake, because he wants you to come and see for yourself. And that's really where the curiosity happens, is when there's a tension that you don't have a resolve for. And he wasn't scared of that, and that's something that he used to frightening effectiveness in so many different areas.
Absolutely. Something else, I think it kind of ties into what we were talking about that I brought up in the other episode, was like, the ambition that you have as a founder should not be overshadowed by should be overshadowed by your morals and ethics. Don't throw those away just for the sake of, trying to get paid or trying for that ambition to grow your company. Certainly, toe that line.
He definitely had a very, very, he was operating in a very large gray area. Just naturally. He was like, I'm not leaving this gray area at all. I'm not leaving it.
I think it's also fun to see how the salesman can be sold. I think that's,
he got deceived
multiple times, and not only that, like with the whole Jerome Clock stuff, but his whole partnership with Bailey, I think, started on that kinds of things where, game recognizes game. I believe Bailey had a baby elephant born in his zoo, or in his circus, and PT wanted it because it was like the attraction. Like, oh my gosh, that's never happened in captivity before. And so PT gave him an offer. And I believe it was John Bailey who then printed that offer in the papers. Was like, look how much this guy wants to pay for it. Which is great marketing even today, where if you can tell people, hey, I got 10 people that are willing to pay for this.
It's the
it makes your products even more.
Richard Branson did the same thing, where you play people off of each other, and he was like, hey, Coke is already
putting an ad in.
You guys want to get on this Pepsi? You sure? But it's like, it's very, very effective, and I think that just comes with the territory. Where you can't, if you're playing that game, you got to recognize that you're in that with a lot of people. But it kind of goes to the whole the carnival reputation. And
never trust a carny. Even today, don't trust a carny.
And I think it's one of those, like, that's where Barnum operated. It's like that's the people that he just operated with, the traveling carnies. So the promotion thing is something that's really interesting to me, and the curiosity thing is really interesting to me, because it sounds obvious, but it's not so obvious when you say, okay, how do I go and make someone interested?
How do I pique someone's curiosity?
Yes, and that's actually probably a better way of putting it. It's not just make someone interested. How do you pique it? How do you make it,
Yeah.
get it to its highest point at the right time, so that way it aligns with your interest in what you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, and for P.T. Barnum, it was buy a ticket.
Buy a ticket. That's what he wanted you to do.
Yeah, buy a ticket.
But I think the other thing too is, I think part of it is how you reveal him, not withholding information to make something curious. It's more about how you reveal information.
Okay.
So he wasn't necessarily holding back what he was about to exhibit at his museum.
Right.
But he was releasing information that seemed contradictory and made people feel like, oh, I thought I understood what I was going to be seeing and what to expect, but now I don't. Because curiosity is a sweet spot between not knowing what's going to happen next and having an idea of what's going to happen
That
next.
anticipation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that tension, and it's tension.
Yeah.
You're introducing tension, and that doesn't always feel good because people might, I want to know now, just tell me now.
Impatient.
Right?
Yeah,
And so it's like, how do you get someone to the point where they feel that way, but it's not to the point where it works adversely.
Yeah. And then like applying that today, like your product should do that, or your service
Yeah.
should do that.
Yeah.
How is my life going to be different if I do purchase this, or if I don't purchase this? What's going to change materially for me or emotionally
Yeah.
when I go through this? Is it a transformation? Is it a better life? Like, what is it? Because that's what's going to get me to buy. You know, that's that curiosity, that's that tension of,
Yeah.
you know,
So-
this is the thing, and then that resolve of, oh, my product can help you, or that service.
All right, so let me ask you this.
Hit me.
What happens to a Barnum in 2026 when so much information is available and people don't necessarily have he doesn't have the luxury of people being separated, people being able to verify some of his claims and decide for themselves? Does his methodology still work? Does his playbook still work in 2026?
I think it would. I just think it'd be way more amplified. The social media makes it so easy to reach the entire globe that those same tricks and ways that he was communicating would just basically be to a global audience every single time you tweet something or you post something on Facebook. And so I'm not sure what he would sell. I don't know if he would still be in the circus, because a lot of the things that they used to do in terms of like animal cruelty and even human cruelty have been outlawed for a long time.
Yeah.
But I do think he would be in showmanship in some way, shape, or form. Probably on socials. And I don't know what he would do with AI. I don't know how he would.
Oh God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how he would deal with. Well, was that a deep fake? No, that was real.
Yeah.
All that kind of thing.
So running off of his thinking in the whole, people want to be deceived somewhat. So I'm imagining him talking about AI, and it's like, hey, I don't really know if it's real. I don't really know if it's the next form of intelligence, if it's an alien intelligence. Mix that up with AI is so useful. AI is great. AI is amazing, and it's the next generation of technology. You have to try this thing out. It's like all of it is good. Bad press is good press. Good press is good press. Like that's the way that I almost see him leading into this world and how he promotes his ideas.
Yeah, there's like that weird spot, because I almost see him being like, I think Trump does a really good job of captivating interest.
Yeah,
I also
he is
think
a P.T. Barnum of politics.
I think Alex Jones is another one of those that does a lot of things to get you listening or to get you interested in what he might say.
Yeah.
And there's some other people, right, that have that same type of mentality, but they each focus on something different.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what he would focus on, but it would be very interesting to see how he might use like AI to generate ads or deep fakes that he would say, no, this is real.
Yeah.
No, this guy's flying.
Yeah.
Or
no,
it
absolutely happened. I mean, some people are saying, I mean, Trump is probably one of the better versions of P.T. Barnum. Actually, I'll say this: in terms of tactics with P.T. Barnum, one of the people that really turned me on to P.T. Barnum was Michael Jackson.
Pretty B.
Hey.
Was who, Michael Jackson?
It was Michael Jackson.
Really?
Michael Jackson, around the time of, I think it was right before his Dangerous tour in the early 90s.
Yeah.
He reportedly bought the P.T. Barnum book, and well, let me walk you through how I arrived there too, very briefly. So I was watching this interview with Teddy Riley, who's a musician and works with Michael Jackson, and he said they said, would Michael Jackson still be hot today? And he said, without a question. He just knew how to market.
Okay.
He was just better at marketing. He knew how to make something go hot, and you see it today. His movie's coming out, and it's, you know, doing numbers, and the guy's been dead for over 15 years.
Allegedly, yeah.
So, allegedly.
This is super secret. We're
Yeah,
getting into this.
It is so he was like, without a question. So that made me go and look into that, because I know now that people learn, right? And people aren't just don't know things out the womb. And so I read and I saw that around that time, early 90s, he read a copy of P.T. Barnum's autobiography, and he loved it. He was like, this is my Bible. He bought it for everybody that was on set and said, everybody needs to read this. Because Michael Jackson, early on when he started his career, he wrote a manifesto, and he said, I want to be the greatest entertainer of all time. He's like, I'm going to study the greats that came before me. I'm going to study all the actors, all the artists, and I want to be the best one roped into one. And entertainment means to hold people together. So when you study somebody like P.T. Barnum, who was very good at bringing people together, you know, by unconventional means, but he was somebody that Michael Jackson studied, and Michael Jackson, what brings it to mind is not only the success of his career, but there's a moment at the Super Bowl halftime show where he walks out and he doesn't say anything for 2 minutes.
That's right.
And everybody is going crazy,
crying,
fainting.
What?
And you're like, what is? And then he starts. In a little quick anecdote before that, he said beforehand, hey, don't start the music until I take my glasses off.
Yeah.
And so he gets up there, and he's up there, and the guy is like, Michael. He's like, you hear me? You about to go? And Michael doesn't move. And then finally he takes it off and starts the show, and it's just it's lore right now. That's how big it was.
Yeah.
And the thing that I take away from Michael Jackson's connection to P.T. Barnum, and maybe a lesson that we can use today, is that anticipation and how powerful anticipation is.
Yeah, I do like that, where you have to give away enough for people to be interested, but you don't have to go through every single, you know, nook and cranny of your product even, or service, to then say like, oh yeah, look, I'm conveying everything. It's like, that's not really what people are looking for. They're looking for that tension almost. You have to build that tension.
The intrigue there. Like, and a big part is making a claim. That's something we were talking about too, in terms of sales and stuff like that, is how do you make a claim that gets people's interest?
Something that's not outlandish to not be believable, but enticing enough for me to follow up.
Enticing me for me to follow up. Or I know that I can deliver on an extent of it, but that person, it'll sound, wait a minute, how? What?
Right.
Okay. And then, so there's small areas there, but by and large, there are things that need to be studied with P.T. Barnum, because I think that he understood something about the psyche of people that can be incorporated in any business, in any marketing campaign, and just in life in general, in terms of getting your point across and communicating something that appeals to other people.
Yeah, one of the best marketers to ever do it. Even with some of the checkered past, there are still things that you can take from his life and his legacy and implement today that are just as effective and highly sought after. Some of these positions that if you do this for a large enough company, you can make millions.
Well, even today, just if you could do it and translate it into your social media.
Yeah.
Like, that's something where he had to do all of this effort in terms of getting a location and then going from place to place, but he I think he would have thrived in today's social climate, because another thing that he did was he was a prolific writer.
Yes.
He wrote a lot. He published a lot of articles. He was a
Lecturer.
public speaker. He ran for office and all this stuff. So he wasn't shy about getting in front of people and speaking, communicating. He knew how to communicate in a way that captured intrigue and was compelling. So I think he would have thrived today. And I think there's so much to take away from him in terms of, hey, this is how we're gonna promote. And I go back just to look at Michael Jackson too. I don't think there's some claims where I'm like, that was probably a little bit of an exaggeration, or not rubber stamps by Michael Jackson in terms of like the wacko jacko and all that. But there's definitely things where he co-signed, or where I think he mixed it up a little bit and played to the intrigue of people and the controversy a little bit, because he knew that it would help sell shows.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the point of like, you can do this from your living room now.
Yeah.
If you're good at this, you can do this from your living room and make lots of money.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot to learn from him, and we may even cover him and weave him into some of these other founders that you guys will see here on these episodes and beyond.
Yes.
Anything else you want to cover? P.T. Barnum.
No, sir, man.
That was great. If you guys have another founder you guys want us to cover, drop it in the comments or send me a message.
Yep.
Sign up on Constance.com, and we'll see you next week.
Yes, sir.
Peace.
Peace out.